This documentary is called Building a Home Against the Odds, Life as a Squatter. Don't forget to like this video, share it and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. The term squatter refers to individuals or groups of people who occupy land or buildings without the owner's permission. Squatters may be seen as both an economic and social issue, as they often live in poverty, are vulnerable to exploitation, and may face eviction and legal consequences. While squatting is illegal in many countries, it is sometimes tolerated and even encouraged in others, especially in situations where there is a housing crisis or a lack of affordable housing. In this documentary, we will explore the phenomenon of squatters, the reasons why people become squatters, the challenges they face, and the policies and responses of governments and civil society organizations. Squatting has a long history dating back to ancient times. The Roman Empire had a law called usucapion that allowed people to claim ownership of land that they had occupied for a certain amount of time. In medieval Europe, peasants often squatted on land that was not being used by the aristocracy. During the Industrial Revolution, squatters were common in urban areas where people migrated from the countryside to work in factories. In the 20th century, squatters' movements emerged in many countries, particularly in response to housing crises and urban poverty. The reasons why people become squatters are complex and vary depending on the individual's circumstances. However, there are some common factors that contribute to squatting. These include poverty, lack of affordable housing, unemployment, displacement, and social exclusion. Squatters may also be driven by political or ideological motives, such as challenging the ownership of land or buildings and advocating for social justice. Poverty is one of the main drivers of squatting. In many countries, low-income families are unable to afford adequate housing, and squatters may see occupying vacant or abandoned buildings as a way to secure shelter. Squatting can provide an alternative to homelessness, and in some cases, squatters may also be able to access basic services such as water and electricity. A lack of affordable housing is another common reason why people become squatters. In many urban areas, rising property prices and rents have made housing unaffordable for many people, especially low-income families. Squatters may see vacant or abandoned buildings as a way to secure housing that they cannot afford on the open market. Unemployment is another factor that can contribute to squatting. In many countries, high levels of unemployment and underemployment have left many people without stable income or housing. Squatters may occupy vacant buildings as a way to create livelihoods or income-generating activities. Displacement is another reason why people may become squatters. In situations of conflict, natural disasters, or forced evictions, people may be displaced from their homes and communities. Squatting may provide an alternative to homelessness for these people, allowing them to stay close to their families and communities. Social exclusion is another factor that can contribute to squatting. People who are marginalized and excluded from mainstream society, such as migrants, refugees, or ethnic minorities, may be more likely to become squatters. Squatting can provide a sense of community and belonging for these groups, who may feel marginalized and discriminated against in other aspects of their lives. Squatters face a range of challenges, including legal, social, and economic issues. Squatting is illegal in many countries, and squatters may face eviction, fines, or imprisonment. Squatters may also face social stigma and discrimination, and may be vulnerable to exploitation by landlords or criminal organizations. Squatters often lack basic services such as water and electricity, and may be exposed to health and safety risks. Legal challenges are one of the biggest obstacles faced by squatters. Squatting is illegal in most countries, and squatters may be evicted by the police or other authorities at any time. In many cases, squatters are seen as criminals, and they may face fines, imprisonment, or other legal penalties. The legal status of squatters varies from country to country, and in some cases, squatters may be able to claim legal ownership of the land or building they occupy if they have been living there for a certain amount of time. Social challenges are another significant issue faced by squatters. Squatters are often stigmatized and discriminated against, and may be seen as a threat to social order and property rights. This can lead to social exclusion and marginalization, as well as harassment and violence. Squatters may also be vulnerable to exploitation by landlords or criminal organizations, who may demand rent or protection money in exchange for allowing them to stay in the building. Economic challenges are also a significant issue for squatters. Squatters often lack access to basic services such as water and electricity, and may have to rely on illegal connections or makeshift solutions. This can lead to health and safety risks, as well as higher costs for basic necessities. Squatters may also have difficulty finding employment or generating income, which can lead to further poverty and marginalization. The policies and responses of governments and civil society organizations towards squatters vary widely. Some countries have adopted policies that aim to provide affordable housing for low-income families, while others have taken a more punitive approach towards squatters. Civil society organizations have also played an important role in advocating for the rights of squatters and providing support and assistance to those who are facing eviction or other challenges. Housing policies are one of the most important responses to squatting. Governments can adopt policies that aim to provide affordable housing for low-income families, which can help to reduce the incidence of squatting. These policies may include subsidies, rent control, social housing programs, and other measures that aim to increase access to affordable housing. In some cases, governments may also work with civil society organizations to provide support and assistance to squatters, such as legal advice or access to basic services. Some countries have taken a more punitive approach towards squatters, viewing them as criminals who are infringing on property rights. These countries may adopt laws that criminalize squatting and allow for the eviction and prosecution of squatters. However, this approach can be counterproductive, as it can lead to further marginalization and poverty for squatters, and can also be costly and difficult to enforce. Civil society organizations have played an important role in advocating for the rights of squatters and providing support and assistance to those who are facing eviction or other challenges. These organizations may provide legal advice, access to basic services, and other forms of support to squatters. They may also engage in advocacy and campaigning to raise awareness of the issues facing squatters and to promote policies that support their rights. In many cases, property owners run into problems when attempting to remove a squatter. Here are a few examples. Property owners may face legal hurdles when attempting to remove squatters from their property. In some jurisdictions, squatters may be entitled to certain legal protections, such as the right to a hearing before eviction can occur. This can lead to delays and additional legal expenses for property owners. In situations where squatters have occupied a building for an extended period of time, property owners may need to undertake costly renovations and repairs in order to make the building habitable again. This can be a difficult and expensive process, and may require the involvement of specialized contractors and building inspectors. Some property owners may be hesitant to evict squatters due to concerns about the potential for violence or other forms of retaliation. Squatters who feel that their rights are being violated may become aggressive or confrontational, and property owners may be hesitant to engage with them directly. In cases where squatters have formed a tight-knit community or established a social movement, efforts to remove them may be met with resistance from other members of the community or from sympathetic activists. This can make it difficult for property owners to gain public support for their efforts to remove the squatters. In conclusion, squatting is a complex issue that is shaped by a range of economic, social, and political factors. While squatting is illegal in many countries, it is sometimes tolerated and even encouraged in situations where there is a housing crisis or a lack of affordable housing. Squatters face a range of challenges, including legal, social, and economic issues, and policies and responses to squatting vary widely. Housing policies that aim to provide affordable housing for low-income families can help to reduce the incidence of squatting, while punitive approaches can be counterproductive. Civil society organizations have an important role to play in advocating for the rights of squatters and providing support and assistance to those who are facing eviction or other challenges. It is important to recognize that squatters are not a homogeneous group, and that their experiences and circumstances vary widely. Some squatters may be forced to occupy buildings due to poverty or lack of affordable housing, while others may choose to squat as a political act or to protest against inequality and injustice. Regardless of the reasons behind squatting, it is important to address the root causes of the issue, which often lie in broader social and economic inequalities. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with our new videos. Thank you.